I need help. I need all hands on deck. I need a nanny. I need a night nurse. I need help.
So now we're talking about guys in my position.
Yeah.
You're getting all of that.
Yeah.
You're getting a chef. You're getting a house cleaner twice a week. You're getting not maybe 1, 2, maybe 3 nannies. So you said do all of these things and everything will be cool. Nah, do all those things and things get worse.
I was subscribed to the story that I'm just supposed to get married and start a family. And that
I hate to say it, man. I feel like Miss Sarah is a chameleon, man.
a lot of people be like, oh my God, he had this much, but
Yeah.
you know how much I've walked away from.
Yes.
He married you because he wanted to be with you.
Facts.
You married him based on what he can give to you. I think as American men, no matter what race you is, based on like our influences, what we watch on TV, what we glorify, I think we really got to go overseas to find that them traits that you're talking about, because they exuberate all that.
I mean, I'm from a different country, so.
No, I think
Nah, you Americanized. We ain't looking for you.
But this is why I believe, and I'm not a mother yet, but when or if that is the decision or the road that we choose to go down, then the truth is I need help. I need all hands on deck. I need a nanny. I need a night nurse. I need help. And it's not to say that
The women of before, I don't think they had that much help. If the help that they probably had was probably just family. You know, I think families probably stuck together a lot more. But I do feel like, just like the women say, the men of this generation are weaker. The women are weaker too.
they're gonna raise my children. But I know women in my family that are like breaking down because they couldn't even take a bath because they couldn't leave their children, right? I know women that are eating the leftover snacks from their kids' lunch, like the crusts from the sandwiches, because they didn't have time to cook anything for themselves because
All right, hold up. Kids is nasty as hell. I don't know nobody eating the crust. I'm not eating the crust off my kids. I'm very cautious on what I'm eating from my kids, because kids can be very nasty.
all they're doing is taking care of a child. And I also think for the ladies, you have to accept help, because sometimes we feel like, no, it's only me. This is my child. And sometimes it's not even your baby anymore. You know, it's not even your husband's kid anymore. This is my kid. I bear this child. I gave birth to this child. I need to take care of this child. No one can take care of this child like me. Okay, I hear that, but you're losing yourself inside of the child.
Yeah.
Boy, Paul be looking so serious. I think both parties could be stressed out, the woman and the male. It's not just a woman's thing. Don't get me wrong. I understand women have a different bird up performance when it comes down to bearing children and nurturing the family, but men definitely have their stressful points as well.
Like $20 is pretty easy to spend, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's $600 a month, right? You could cut it in half, put $300 of that in the stock market so you can actually start to invest in something. Take that other $300, chop that in half, get a housekeeper that can come once a month, and that other $150, go buy some meal prep. You don't even gotta prep the meals. So now with $600, you've just released yourself of so many things. Now instead of spending an hour at night cooking in the kitchen, you can freaking sit with your husband and snuggle by this fireplace like you were saying.
Okay, I just want to say this real quick before Paul get into it. That $600, that's not the best way to break that $600 up. She said put $300 in the stock market. That $300 ain't doing shit in the stock market. I'm just gonna be honest. $300, you know how long it's gonna take for you to quadruple your return? It's gonna take a while unless you are a level investor. But if you just a novice, you probably gonna lose it. And then she said getting a nanny. I'm not gonna lie. In certain situations, a nanny could be beneficial. But at the same time, a lot of these chicks just lazy. I'm just gonna be honest. Let's continue.
Let me say this because
No.
Okay, go.
No.
Oh God.
Paul got
No. All right. So now we're
ready?
talking about guys in my position.
Yeah,
You're getting all of that.
yeah.
You're getting a chef. You're getting a house cleaner twice a week. You're getting not maybe 1, 2, maybe 3 nannies. So why is it that people
that man rich?
provide that in my position? I think the divorce rate is more like 80, 90%. We giving that. You know that, right?
Yeah.
So you said do all of these things and everything will be cool. Nah, do all those things and things get worse.
That's facts.
Because amongst the 1% is a higher percentage than the others.
So I have an answer.
She's bum fumble. She is bum fumble. No, she don't have an answer to that because yes, if you add all these conveniences to relieve you of your duties, you get lazier as people. That's why the women of yesterday, they were able to do things a lot different than the women of today. Same as the men. The world that we live in today, this artificial social media driven world, is not the same, man. We got so many distractions in our face to where we just don't know how to do like we used to.
To that, because I'm talking about what the woman can do for herself and what most people, because the majority of people are not in the 1%, but where a lot of the 1% miss is the emotional connection, the emotional vulnerability, the compassion, that the fact that this woman doesn't feel like herself, her body doesn't do the same things that it used to do, she doesn't even feel sexy anymore in the bedroom. So it's like, are you helping her on this journey to her new self?
Yes.
So it's easy to get rid of those things, but when we're talking about getting out of the things so that woman can have more time and not be as overly stimulated and overwhelmed, now we got to get into the conversation of, how are you making me feel as a woman? Are you getting dismissive because I'm frustrated?
Ooh.
Too much. It's like a Rubik's Cube. It's just too much work. So you telling me I provide the nannies, I provide the chefs, I relieve you of your motherly duties of the hustle and bustle and chasing behind the rugrats, and now you able to work on yourself, go to the gym, be beautiful, go hang out with the girl, whatever you, and it's still not enough. I don't get it, man.
Are you now getting, what is it, when you're annoyed because I'm tired? Or are you the one that's like, baby, I ran you a bath? You know, are you still touching her on the small of her back? Are you depositing money in the sexy bank? Which means if you ain't talked to that girl all day, other than a text message talking about the kids or talking about work or talking about whatever, by the time you come home, you ready to get it, she's at 0, you're at 100. You haven't deposited any money in the bank.
Right.
I hope that shit being reciprocated. Hey, I'm gonna be honest. If a man is doing as much as what Paul just said, she better be doing all that. She better be putting a lot inside that sexual piggy bank if I'm relieving her of all this stress. Let's be real, man. That should be really one-sided a lot of the time. The dude be providing so much, but the chick don't have to put out anything, and we still pouring into her emotionally too. So we financially and emotionally drained. Come on, y'all.
You know?
You're absolutely right.
She's 100%
she
right.
ain't
Because
right.
that's I threw back, and you threw back exactly what.
That's
Letting her
100%
off.
what
That's
it's
100%.
teamwork. Yeah,
No,
I
that's
agree.
100%. But see, this is the thing. Men have to learn that too, because we just feel like the kings and everything should run through us, and we don't take into account to where it's like, damn, take back and listen and watch to see like what your woman going through, and like, because I heard that. I heard everything you said, and I didn't get that. And that's why probably mine didn't work, because then it started turning into, it's just everything's about you. Me, you. Like, and I didn't get it at first, but like I started to get it, and those were the things that came up.
Oh, this
And
so
I think that
one-sided.
ties into what you said about weak people cheating.
Yeah.
Because if you're really adamant about understanding what's going on within your relationship, then maybe you wouldn't have to outsource and go outside of it. And then,
Instead of leaning into what her needs was, I leaned out.
That's so honest.
yeah.
That's beautiful.
But my thing is, hold up. It's so one-sided. We talking about still leaning into the woman's feelings and emotions after you have provided so many conveniences to relieve her of stress. Where does the man get his relief at? Paul literally said his relationship crumbled because he wasn't getting the things that he wanted out of it. So he basically cheated on his woman. So where is the pouring back into the man? I don't hear any of that. I just hear her explaining, the woman needs this, the woman needs that, the woman needs this. And I'm all for pouring into your girl, but damn, how much I gotta pour?
Because people don't understand that, like, that is the tragic flaw of masculinity and femininity. And I say this all the time, like, men want men out of women, and women want women out of men. But you don't have a woman, men. You have
I
them.
felt that.
So
That's so good.
you gotta meet them where they're at.
Get it now.
You know, like how you said, you've got to soften up. That means you've got to tap into that other side of you so
Right.
that you can pull her out of it, because this is what men do.
Hold on. She literally, nah. We ain't gonna let her off the hook right there. She said, women want the men to be like women, and the men want the women to be like men. So if I have to tap into my feminine side to tap into her, that means I'm still acquiescing to what she wants, which is the more feminine side. So she literally just she just contradicted herself, just being honest.
Men run down all of the reasons most times, and if she's like, I'm tired, I have these kids, my body, and then it's like, well, I got this nanny, and I got this, and I have a chef, and then you start running down the track record,
Because
right?
he was ready to run it down.
Oh, let me tell you. So when you run down the track record, what happens is feminine women. Let me just say, femininity lives in the now. Masculinity lives via track. So instead of me being able to say, baby, I'm tired, I'm overwhelmed, I got these kids, I don't feel sexy anymore, you come home, I want to give you what you want, but you don't, all of these different things. The man says, but I got you the personal trainer, I got you the maids, I got you the nannies, I don't know why you're so tired. And so now what you've actually done is put that woman into her masculine. Now you've expected that feminine woman to be a man, but when she gets into her masculinity is confrontational, and masculine doesn't like masculine.
No.
So now y'all are going head and head, bucking back and forth because you're both in the wrong energy.
Miss Sarah Fontaine, I rock with you, man. I like what you be doing on your platform, but ma'am, you wrong. You're wrong. You're trying to be right so hard, and Paul has not stopped you. But what you are saying is ass backwards. If I provide you with these conveniences to alleviate your stressful environment of dealing with the kids, not being able to be yourself, ma'am, it is your problem now at that point. You cannot pull yourself out of this emotional breakdown system that you in. This is your problem. This is your fight. I will still be there for you emotionally, but that's when you need good family, you need good friends around you, because guess what? I can't alleviate you from everything. I just can't. I'm only human. But if you want everything out of me, that's you putting the man in his feminine. What she just preached against, y'all. She just said don't be into the feminine, which the woman is trying to turn you into it. But literally, you got to get into your feminine. I don't understand that.
Where are you at in your life as far as like relationships? Do you want to get married? Do you want to have kids? Like, where are you at? I feel like you know what you want.
I do.
Like,
Yeah, for
is
sure.
that,
Very clear.
is that,
Do
have
you?
you ever been married?
I've been engaged twice.
Okay,
And a half
engaged
times.
twice.
Me too.
Kevin Samuel said most engaged.
Yeah.
You've been engaged twice?
Yeah.
Okay. So is that something you're looking forward to? Or
Yeah.
is that something you want to do?
If it's right.
If it's right.
I'm not in a rush to do it wrong. And I think the reason why
Hot
I've been
girl
engaged
life.
twice before was because I was in a rush.
So, like, you got engaged.
Bro, these women be capping. Ma'am, you know you having a hot girl fun life. You know you don't want to get tied down by no man, but you willing to give out all this advice. I'm not trying to call her out. I like her, but damn, I can see through it.
And how long was the first engagement?
Almost 2 years. Or a year. I was a kid though.
Okay.
My first time I was engaged, I was 18.
Me too.
Yeah, I was a child.
Second one.
Second one, I was in my late 20s. That was a long time ago.
So how long was that engagement?
About a year.
Okay.
And I called it off right before the wedding. I think it was I want to say probably June. I'm not great with time, but our wedding was September. Like I had my dress, we had our venue,
What happened?
Can I answer if you don't want to share?
No, I
it's
don't.
fine.
It's okay. So
Come on.
the second time that I was engaged, first of all, I never should have dated that man. Never should have dated that man. Not to say that there's anything wrong with him. I don't want to just be the person that's bashing people, but
What does that mean?
Really and truly, when I look at alignment with what I want in my life, and it was actually a mentor that taught me, when you look at your partner and you put on your wife hat, meaning like, how do you want to feel? How do you want to be? How do you want to show up as a wife? Write those things down. And then, can I be this way with him? And that's when I was like, oh,
wow.
I can't be this man's wife at all. But
Why would you do that to him?
Well, he had it coming, to be honest. But that
Had it coming?
man, it
That's
was
narcissist.
no. Let me tell you.
That narcissist.
Well,
She
damn.
broke up.
Yeah, I did. But let me tell you why. Let me tell you why, Paul. Because this man,
You're stupid.
He just straight out called her a narcissist.
I had to learn. This man was in so much competition with me all the time. Like it was like, so at the time I was in the top 3.3% of a $9.8 billion company. Okay,
Oh, wow.
I work hard. I've never been a stranger to working hard. You know,
Same.
like never. I moved to America. I'm like, let's figure it out. I might not come from money, but I come from love. I never came from money, but I built my success. You know, and so. I was
Lost
working
big.
hard, and he used to say things. It was really, this was the thing. This was what put the, it was the last needle on the haystack. This man looked me dead in my face and said, "Sarah, you'll never make it. The only way you'd make it is if you married someone who made it." And in that moment, it wasn't the deceit. It wasn't that he was sneaky. It wasn't any of those things. I was like, oh, it was like, we do not have aligned visions whatsoever. Like you don't even see me for who I have the potential of being. And even if you did, you're trying to dim it down. I'm not interested. I'm not interested. And in that moment, I remember I was leaving, and he was like, if you leave, then because I had kept taking off my ring. I was like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. He's like, if you leave, then you really mean it. I mean it. And when I tell you I left, I went to a movie. I went to a matinee, actually. I ate popcorn. I chilled. I went back
By
and
yourself?
I was like, by myself. I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not about to be stressed out. I'm not about to be picked on. And I'm for damn sure I'm not going to be with somebody that doesn't see my value as their wife.
It went from
I don't, like I said, we don't know the other side of this story. We only hearing one side. She could have had her issues as well that he was frustrated with, that he didn't, appreciate from her maybe hard working side. We don't know for sure. We have to just listen to her side. But hey, man, let's continue.
love to hate that fact.
No, I didn't hate him.
Well,
I just
it
love
was
me
like,
enough.
Like
Ooh.
you about to get married,
Yeah.
right? And so like the attitude popped off between y'all two, the argument, whatever. Then you did what you did, but like there was like some animosity.
No, I wouldn't
It
even say it
wasn't?
was animosity.
You said it was.
Like
He was
how
jealous.
can you go from about to get married?
Yeah.
Like that's the top of the love.
That is
But
true.
is it, or is that the top of indoctrination?
Oh my
And
God,
that's
this
the thing.
lady.
That's the point. But us as women, our whole lives, we've been taught, get married, start a
Yep.
family, get married, start a family. And if you're not mindful of what you actually need for you, anybody can make you a wife and anybody can give you children as long as they got a good seed. But if I'm after joy, peace, alignment, similar core values, if I'm after the things that matter, then it matters who I put into that place. And so I had to learn, and it took me until I was about 28 years old. I've spent so much money on retreats and healing and learning
to say it, man.
and all of the things, coaches and therapists
Chameleon.
and whatever. I had to learn that I was subscribed to the story that I'm just supposed to get married and start a family. And
I
that
hate to say it, man. I feel like Miss Sarah is a chameleon, man. She kind of preaching against what she preaches, which is possibly starting a family, women getting together, wanting to be wives. But now she's saying, "Oh, for me, it's not meant for me. I need to live my life. I have a purpose. I have a passion." How you think all the other women out there feel? They probably saying the same thing, but we need wives out here. Everybody can't be a boss babe, but I can tell that she's preaching the boss babe lifestyle because she won't get out of it for sure.
That's why a lot of people are married, but they will never experience what it means to be husband and wife. Because those are two very different things. That God thing, that's a very different thing than I said I do to you. I got a legal contract with you. If you die, I get half. That's a business contract. That's fine, and that's important. But what is the unwavering, unshakableness that even though despite what happens, I'll choose you. I got a question for y'all too. I got eaten alive. So I'm gonna ask you guys a scenario, okay?
I'm curious.
I know what you're gonna ask.
Paul see through the bull. Well, look at Paul's face, bro. He see through all the bull.
But a lot of people passionately feel like they don't know their kids, but a lot of
Yeah.
people don't love their spouses. they are familiar with and they have settled for, and they are 50-50 roommates that they sometimes get to have sex with their spouses. But I do not powerfully choose this person as my spouse.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It's too. I personally believe marriage is very different from husband and wife.
Ooh, that gives me chills. I feel like what you said touched on something very real for me, and it's something I've dealt with, and I know a lot of other women dealt with, especially being in this space where we're talking about these different relationships, and people are like, why aren't you single? Why are you single? Why aren't you married? Why? It's like, basically, you're not shit because you're not married, you're single, or you don't have this. They devalue you as a woman. And I've learned that, and I feel like I was engaged twice, and I was in long relationships my whole life. And I feel like it was because a lot of those relationships I was unhappy, but I was taught from my parents who are still married, you stay. Because it's better to be with someone than to be alone. It's better as a woman to be married with children and have the house and the kids and the picket fence and whatever else. Even if you're unhappy, you need to do that.
Duty.
And that's what I was taught. That's what I saw. And I literally was in relationships way far past the expiration date because I was like, you know what? This is what I'm supposed to do. He wants me, so I would be crazy. Like, oh, he's a successful man. He's handsome. He has money. He has this. You're going to leave him? You know how many people operate from a space of desperation when they give advice?
Yes.
They give you advice from a desperate space because they feel like there's a lack thereof for what they can't get or what they can't have. And it's like you're listening to these people telling you, stay, because I would be so happy if I had a man that looked like that or had that money or did this. And it's like, well, I'm unhappy.
Right.
Like,
they don't get it.
Yeah, I'm not happy.
And you got to make the money to know it's not everything.
Yeah.
To be fair, because a lot of people be like, oh my God, he had this much. But you know how much I've walked away from?
Yes, absolutely. Me too.
All right. You asked the question. What was the question? Marriage or the wife? What was it again?
Your spouse or your child? Your wife or your child?
No. You say married and a wife is two different things.
Oh, yeah. She said marriage and husband and wife are two different things.
It's only to a woman.
Break that down.
Only to a woman.
Okay.
This man, Paul, continues to cook her. My goodness.
More.
Because when a man marries you, he's marrying you to be your husband, to be married. A woman is marrying you based on what she can, to be married and not a wife, or a wife and not be married. Like, it's one or the other for the woman, but for the man, it's both. Every time.
It is.
Because a man he married you because he wanted to be with you.
Facts.
You married him based on what he can give to you, what
Facts.
he provides, what he brings to the table.
That's good.
Man, Paul cooking, bro.
Like 100%. Like, damn, he give love, but like, if we have kids, can he take care of them? Y'all looking at all these other things.
Facts.
A man marrying you because he love you. Like, he looking at, like, she broke, but she cool and do all this other things.
Men usually love so hard, man. We appreciate women for the simplest things. They don't have to bring a lot to the table. They just have to really make me feel good. I'm gonna be honest, if I look at her and I smile, that's what most guys go for. They not going for all the extra stuff that women going for. Miss Sarah, bro, Paul is cooking her right now.
Like, you ain't looking at a man, oh, he broke, he cool, but he cool. Like,
You ain't looking.
Like, you ain't doing that as a woman.
Nope.
Let's keep it 100 now.
Crazy.
He like, he broke, but he cool as a motherfucker. He got a good personality and, this and that, and his vibe is cracking. We gonna marry y'all if y'all that.
Exactly.
Like, you feel me? Like, a man know more about being in love than a woman.
That's what I've heard people say a lot.
Facts.
I've heard men say that opinion a lot.
Like, damn, because y'all looking at his situation. We just looking at you for who you are. You might look good and what you give and everything. Like, damn, but like, that's
real.
It has nothing to do about what you provide.
It does. It's just not monetary.
Man,
Stop
stop
it.
it.
Can get that from anybody.
No, that's
Stop
not true.
it.
A dude can get anybody to clean the house, they get anybody to cook, they get anybody to have sex, but having the emotional and spiritual fortitude to support you in a way to fill your gaps before you even express them, to make you know that you are the head of household, that you are the king that you are. Every woman, some women might do it because you've given them some money, but a woman that does it because she genuinely cares about you, that's a different kind of woman.
It's
Way
a different woman that cares, that they're anticipating your needs. Oh, babe,
So,
I
like
made this
me,
appointment for you. I'm doing this. I'm taking you here.
She trying to do that word salad.
Do a guy like Paul Pierce get from marriage? The motherfucker who made all the money in the world, been successful, been famous, they met every celebrity. What benefit do I get from it?
Well,
like why should I get married for secure? Like what?
Well,
tell me.
I guess my first question for you.
How can I tell somebody I could trust them? How can I tell that somebody that's not just getting married for what I bring to the table and all of this? Like, what am I looking for?
Facts.
What?
Because guess what? All the women gonna be wolves out there. Paul gonna find a chick that he just genuinely appreciate. She look good. Her vibe is right. She's sweet. He loves her. But a woman, he will never know if she with him for him or for the truth.
Who I look for?
What's the answer to that?
I don't know.
Well, then I can't answer you.
Man, you
I
can't.
need to know the
truth
answer.
Yeah, because if marriage doesn't mean anything to you, then you shouldn't get married.
I'm looking for love. How do I know what true love
that
look
won't,
like?
That won't work. Love ain't enough.
Oh,
Love is
I'm
not
looking
enough
for
to stay married.
support. I'm looking for a
That's
partner.
easy.
All right, so what is that look like? What is marriage about? I'm looking for somebody spiritual, who loves God, who like I could
not
say
enough.
like what is it
let her
then?
talk.
You
Say
said all the 6 things. I didn't name 5 of them.
Right.
You said I'm not looking for
Safety,
that.
security, respect, emotional intelligence,
Yeah.
emotional regulation, openness, and honesty.
So-
I need all 6. Everything else is figure outable. If you are sometimes quick to anger, but you still respect me, I can work with that. If you sometimes get frustrated inside of my frustration because you don't understand me, I'm just a girl. You don't understand me being just a girl, but you still make me feel safe and secure, I can work with that. If you are the type of man that, maybe sometimes your money, this business, this CEO that was about to take over your business, I was about to get a $20 million deal, and then that man dies. So now it's like, holy shit, what do I even do? I don't have this person anymore. Can I cuss? I'm so sorry. I'm not even a
Yes,
cusser.
of
I don't even
course
know how
you
that
can.
happened. But anyway, this person that died, now I got to figure this out. Now I got a whole business that I got to pay for and no CEO to take it over. What do I do, baby? But you still treat me with emotional regulation and openness and honesty.
All this
I
talking.
can work with that. I can work with all of the things that happen inside of our lives as long as my core needs are met from my partner. Now that being said, there's going to be times where we are human and you're not perfect. No one is perfect. I'm not perfect. We're not perfect. So when these 6 things get hit, safety, security, respect, openness and honesty, emotional intelligence, emotional regulation, which means maybe you weren't as regulated that day. Can you at some point come back and take accountability for the place where you know that you weren't necessarily the man that we both know you as? And the same goes for women. When you know what you want, everything else is figure outable. And then you need somebody with staying power, because people are weak, they be quitting. They quit. You like somebody's picture on Instagram.
You quit. You literally left you were engaged twice, man. You broke off a whole wedding. Man, I tell you, these people be capping, bro. Miss Sarah, I still appreciate you, but man, you definitely capping. I'm just being honest.
I quit.
Yeah.
I think
capping.
as American men, no matter what race you is, based on like our influences, what we watch on TV, what we glorify, I think we really got to go overseas to find that them traits that you're talking about, because they exuberate all that.
That's wild.
They look at all that.
I mean, I'm from a different country, so
No, I think,
Nah, you Americanized. We ain't looking for you.
I think because I be looking like, damn, it ain't really about who got money. When you go to Europe, when you go to China, when you go to these countries, they like when you look at the statistics, let's look at the statistics. And this just not me going off of my experience. This is me like, damn, the Americans got the most of highest divorce rates.
yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
We
not
don't
even
have no
close.
morals.
Yeah, exactly. So like, damn, why wouldn't the Americans
broke
say
off
like, man, I should get me an
marriage.
international girl, because they more they give their man and treat them like this and appreciate more. I mean,
So
that's just
this is
right.
what
I
I'm
just
saying.
feel like if like damn, I go over here, I need to play my percentages. Like man, Germany they 30%. Okay, Switzerland.
Well, maybe you
Australia,
need to go
10%
over
divorce
there
rate.
and see what's going on.
10%.
Y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and leave it at, man. I can't react to the whole thing, man. My goodness, bro. Paul been cooking. Sarah how you say her name? Fontenot? Hey, man. I like some of her talking points online because she's everywhere a lot of the time in clips. But when I tell you, bro, you can hear the cap and you can see the cap. Don't get me wrong, marriage ain't for everybody. But I will say this: that's why I say, man, society has grown itself so much to where a lot of these women can preach outside of needing a husband. Because if we were constricted to how large we are right now, she would need a husband. She can only say this because we live in a capitalist society that men have already built up and created avenues to where women don't actually need men anymore. So that's why she feel like she can stay in her bag and I can do this and I can live and be free. I could just, do whatever I want, have my money. But if we were if we were about 50, 60 years ago, you would need a husband and there would be no, I just want to be free. I just want to learn my way. You can't do that. You see the hypocrisy there? It's like the more advanced society get, the more removed that you can get from your biological urge or need of a spouse or the opposite gender. So everything she's saying is cap, man. And I don't know what she's preaching at this point now. I don't know if she's preaching for marriages, relationships. I don't know if she's just preaching for people to just live their life as they want. I do not know. But I will say this: Paul has some great rebuttals that she could not refute. I didn't know Paul was going to give her pushback like that, but he did an amazing job, bro. Paul Pierce, shout out to you. The truth. Make sure y'all check out this podcast episode in its entirety on the Truth After Dark podcast. Make sure y'all like this video on the JayBReacts channel. Make sure y'all like this video. Comment below. I will have a panel on Saturday night at 7:30. If y'all want to get on that panel, just email me at jayaboutthebusiness@gmail.com or hit up the co-host, Let Her Be Great on Instagram. And until next time, y'all, peace.